Good evening, friends, and Sevi Sharma back with another video of propagation of errors while multiplication. And here there is a multiplication thing like next is a quantity which is obtained by the product of two quantities A and B. So in this case, this is the error analysis. What is given here? I will tell you one shortcut how to handle this. We can use the differential methods to handle this. Okay. So I explained this in one shot in this particular video. So here I work out this on the whiteboard. So x is equal to AB. So like I will take like this, like I will consider like a quantity P is obtained by the product of x and y. And we use one formula like when you have log x, the variation in log x is given by delta x by x. This is the formula is what we use. So using this formula, we are going to solve this problem, particular problem. Now we take log on both sides. We have log p, that is with respect to the base e, of course, and log p to the base e is equal to, I can take log xy. Okay, and now to the base e, and this can be written as log x to the base e plus log y to the base e. And now when I take the variation in the log in delta p, that variation in log p, so that is delta log p to the base e happens to be variation in log x to the base e. This is like a differential. So the basic idea is d by dx of log x. Okay, log x is 1 by x. Using this funda only we are coming into this, right? D log x is another way is d log x is dx by x. And this d is replaced with delta. That is the only thing I am doing over here. And this is delta log y to the base e. So you have this one when you do this, this becomes delta p by p is equal to delta x by x plus delta y by y. So this is how you have. So the relative error. So finally, you can say that the relative error in p, delta p by p, is equal to plus or minus the relative error in x plus the relative error in y. So this is the maximum possible error. Maximum possible error. Okay. So always we take the mod here to get the maximum possible error. We take the modulus here for the maximum possible error. And a similar idea that if I have like p is equal to like x by y, if I have this situation, so we write log p is equal to log x minus log y. We can write like this. And now if I take delta on either side, delta log p is equal to delta log x minus delta log y. Okay. So when I take the differential, that becomes delta p by p is equal to, I have delta x by x minus delta y by y. But as I told you that the errors are always additive, we'll take the plus sign and take the modulus here. So that is, this will give us the maximum possible error. So this is the technique I want to tell you. Maximum possible error. So as I told you in the beginning that you should never subtract the errors. So that is the idea. So if I want what is the variation in P, delta P, that is the error in P is like P multiplied by, you get delta x by x, that is the maximum possible in x, maximum relative error in y. So this is how we give the calculation. I hope you got this. And now the third idea I want you to understand is that let us say another quantity P is like x power m into y power m divided by z power k, something like this is there. And now they asked you what is the maximum possible error in P. So the basic idea again, we take the logarithm, log P is equal to log of x power m into y power n divided by z power k. You can write like this. And now you can write log t is equal to log x power n plus log y power n. Of course, these are all with respect to the base e, and minus log z power k to the base e. And now when you take the variations, that means you want to calculate the variations here. Delta log p is delta p by p. You can write this. This happens to be, this m is a constant. This can multiply this log here. So it becomes m into delta log x. Okay. Plus this becomes n into delta log y. Delta log y. And because we are taking the errors, right? So we'll always add up the error. We'll never subtract the error. So this minus sign should be changed to plus. That's what I'm doing here. Never forget this to do. And this becomes k times, this is the power k times delta log z. Okay. So what is the ultimate thing you are going to get? You are going to get delta p by p as the power, whatever the x, the power of x multiplied by the relative error in x, and the power of y multiplied by relative error in y, and the power of z multiplied by relative error in z. So this is the basic idea I want you to understand, and this is what I want to inculcate in your mind. So I hope this is clear, and this is the basic funda what is explained in the PPTs over here. And based on that, the problem is being solved. Okay. So here you go. That is the delta x. This is the maximum possible plus or minus delta a by a and plus or minus delta b by b. That is a error propagated when you have product. Similarly, what is the error propagated when you have, okay, let us take the example here, how to solve when you have a product of the quantities. So the measurement of the lengths of a rectangle are 3.00 plus or minus 0.01 centimeter, and breadth is 2.00 plus or minus 0.02 centimeter. What is the area of the rectangle? This is how the question is being asked. And now you see this, the base values you have to take. So that is the length is actually 3.00 will take, and the breadth is basically 2.00 will take. Okay. Delta B is your 0.02, and the delta L is happens to be 0, and delta L is 0.01. Okay. So this is how we write separately. And now you have L into B. First calculate the area, which is L into B. That is 6 centimeters square. And now what is delta A by A? This is how we calculate. Delta A by A is plus or minus, when there is a product, you will get delta L by L plus delta B by B. Right. This is the relative error. So what is your delta L? 0.01 divided by L. This is what you have to do. Okay, of course, 0.01 divided by 3. 0.01 divided by 3 and 0.02 divided by 2. So that is the part. So that is written over here. And now you have to calculate what is delta A. Delta A is you obtain 6 by multiplying L into B. That is here 6.06 centimeters square is what you got. So 6 multiplied by this part you have to do. So once you do that, you will get 0.08 centimeters square. And now why 6.00 we are representing here? This you have to think. See, L, this is having 3 significant figures, and this is also having 3 significant figures. So once you take the product L into B, the answer, it should also have the 3 significant figures. Okay, this is the base area, and then this is the error in the area. So I hope this is clear with you. And then this A is multiplied what we calculated here. So I hope this is clear with what I taught you. If you have any doubts, you can put up in the comments. Okay, I hope you got this. Now, let us go for this errors in division. So as I told you, once you have the division, it will follow the same rule as that of the product. So it is delta x by x is plus or minus delta a by a plus or plus delta b by b. That is the maximum possible error, right? And now we change this. We see this question here. The change in the velocity of a body is this much, 12.5. So the velocity is 12.5. Let us take this 12.5. Okay. And then delta v is 0.2. So this is how we write. And now let us take this time. Time they have given, the time value and actual value of time is 5.0 and the delta t value of time is actually 0.3. So they asked to find the acceleration. So acceleration is basically velocity by time. So v by t, just calculate using this 12 point. So you have 12.5 divided by 5.0. Do that calculation first. So that is the calculation here. And then that is 2.5 meters second power minus 2. So why 2.5? So you can see this. This is two significant figures and this is three significant figures. Least number of significant figures we are expressing here. So that is 2.5, not 2.50. So this is the idea you should have. And now what you have to do. And now delta A by A happens to be what? Delta A by A happens to be plus or minus delta V by V plus delta T by T. You should not write any subtraction of the errors. So this is how you get. And now delta A happens to be A into, of course, plus or minus A into delta V by V plus delta T by T. This is what you have to do. So once you do that, this is how you get. Okay, I hope it's clear. So delta A by A, this is the value what you get, 2.5. This 2.5 will be multiplied with this value what you are going to get. Okay, delta A happens to be this value, delta V by V plus delta T by T. How do we calculate delta V by V? I told you this is the error divided by this. Okay, 0.2 divided by 12.5. 0.2 divided by 12.5. That is delta V by V. This is delta V by V. And this is delta T by T. I hope it is clear what I am trying to tell. And now plus or that is you get plus or minus 0.08. And now delta A happens to be A into that A value is 2.5, 2.5 into 0.08. So that gives plus or minus 0.02. And then the answer will be A plus or minus delta A. Answer will be like A plus or minus delta A. This is how you have to give the answer. And now that's what is reported here, 2.5 plus or minus 0.02. I hope this is clear. You can have a look at this, and that is the idea. So the next one is like as I told you, when the quantities are raised to some power into relative error of A plus power into power of B into relative error of B. So that is the idea. So that the differential method which I told you just now, that is expressed over here. And now that delta x by x is plus or minus n into power of A multiplied by relative error in B, A, and power of B multiplied by relative error in B. So that is the idea, basic idea for the solving this one. And this is the question what we have. And the time period of oscillation of a simple pendulum is given by t is equal to 2 pi into square root of L by G. What is the accuracy in determination of G? If 10 centimeter length is known to have 1 mm accuracy, accuracy means that is the error. Okay. And 0.5 seconds time period is measured from the time of 100 oscillations with a watch of 1 second resolution. 1 second resolution is the error what you can see. So delta L by L. So first initially it is calculated. What is the delta L by L? Delta L is 10 centimeter. This is 1 millimeter. 1 millimeter is 0.1 centimeter. So 0.1 centimeter divided by 10 centimeter. So delta L by L value is 0.01. So that is the first part we got. And now delta T is 1 second. And the time for 100 oscillations is 100 into 0.5. So where is 0.5 thing? Here it is. So accuracy of 0.5 seconds, that is the error. Okay. And then measured from the 100 oscillations. So for the 100 oscillations, you have 100 into 0.5. Okay. Right. And it is having 1 second resolution, that is delta T. Delta T is 1 second resolution, and the accuracy, it is accurate up to 0.5 seconds. So 0.5 into This 100 you are getting, that is about 50 seconds. Okay, clear. And then after doing this measurements, your stopwatch is having 1 second resolution. That is the error what we are seeing while taking all these measurements. So you have delta t by t is 1 by 50. And now let's apply this formula t equal to 2 pi into square root of L by G. What we have to do is take log on either side. Log t is equal to log 2 pi plus half log L minus log G. So you can write like this and take the differentials. So you get delta t by t. This 2 pi is a constant, so it doesn't carry any kind of variation. So the derivative is 0 for a constant, that you know very well. So you have half of log L by L, it happens to be delta L by L minus delta G by G. So we had to find what is delta G by G. This is the idea. And now you had to find delta G by G happens to be like, so 2 times delta t by t plus delta L by L. Why I'm writing plus? I'm not following the equations. Please understand that I should only add up the errors. I should never subtract the errors. So using this funda, I get like this. So this is the final thing. So this is the final equation what you have. I hope it is clear. And now delta G by G into 100, that gives you percentage error, and that is about 5% is what you get once you substitute the values here. So with these ideas, I think we are coming to the close of this error analysis. And then how does, there's a chart which shows that how does the errors propagate in different conditions. When you have the sum, you have delta A plus delta B, and relative error is delta A plus delta B divided by A plus B. That's how you get. And the percentage error is delta A plus delta B divided by A plus B multiplied by 100. And the difference A minus B, same delta A plus delta B. You should never subtract the errors. And then here, relative error becomes delta A plus delta B divided by A minus B this time. That is the relative error. And this is how you get. And then multiplication A into B, that is the, so here absolute error A into delta B plus B into delta A, that is the relative error happens to be delta A by A. This is the important part. This is not that important. They are not asking about this one, general, but this is the one they will ask you. And then this is the relative thing. Okay, the next division also, it follows the same kind of formula. This is the formula which you all have to remember mostly. Mostly this is not being asked. Okay, this is like a derivative, but don't worry much about this one. So, but b into delta A plus A into delta B divided by B square. If you know the derivative d by dx of f by g, something like this. Okay. So that is like g of dash minus fg dash divided by g square. So using this funda, you can calculate this. So this you will obtain. So here, because this is errors now, you should only add up. So instead d by dx will write delta f by g. So like this we'll write. So it is g delta f plus f delta g divided by g square. Using the same kind of thing, same kind of funda, you can use it here to solve the situation. And now the power, when you have power n, then n into this is n into a power n minus 1 kind of thing. So same kind of differential. So n into delta a by a is what you get. Power into relative error. So if you multiply that with 100, you will get the percentage error. So with this, we conclude the error analysis today. And thank you all. Thanks for watching the video. I hope I'm clear. And if you have any doubts regarding this error analysis or something, and if you have any questions to ask me, you are welcome, and you can show that in comments. And thank you all for watching the video. I need your full support in order to make this channel a big success. Thank you all.